we go. Hi everybody, Jim from County Corvette here in Westchester, Pennsylvania. I have a 1961 Corvette here for sale. This car just came in. I have not seen a nice driver like this in some time. This car was, I guess what we call a body on restoration done, I think it was about 20 years ago, maybe even a little longer. Gentleman who owned it, maintained it real well. You know, for example, it's got a correct replacement aluminum radiator in it, correct for this year car, dated and all that stuff. So when he did the maintenance, he did it really well. But the coolest thing about this car, in my opinion, is how it drives. It has original type Firestone bias ply, big white wall tires on it. Like you have to have that on a car with coves. You have to have these tires. And you know, you can get radials for that, but it just doesn't really look the same. The problem is they drive so bad with bias plies. But the truth of the matter is this car drives quite well. I was a bit taken back because the gentleman lived about an hour away. He would just drive it here. And then you know, I wasn't real familiar with the car. We'd done some work on it, but he drove down and I looked at it, took it for a drive, and I was really surprised how well it drives. The front end's tight on it, the steering's tight, it stops straight, it steers straight, it does everything the way it's supposed to, which most of these cars don't. Even restored ones that aren't sorted properly, they just drive bad. And with the dated technology of what these cars were with kingpin front suspension and all, if there's just one thing bad with it, it's really not worth driving. This car, it's a pleasure to drive. It doesn't pop out of second gear. Everything that was you know, rebuilt on this thing was rebuilt properly. So I really got to like the car. The paint's older on it, but really presents well. I'm sure under these lights it looks like a concours restored car. There's a couple chips, couple scratches, hairline cracks around some corners and stuff like that, but overall presents quite nicely. I'd say 6 out of 10, 10 being concours. And you know, glass is nice. It's got a replacement windshield in it with no codes or anything on it. And you know, just nice appearing. Interior is nice. The salt pepper carpets are a little discolored. That happens after about a year, any type of open top driving and use. But windows go up and down real nice. Just the way they should be. So I'm classifying this as just a really nice driver. And they're hard to find. Also, really nice original body. It is a 230 horse engine in it, and it is a replacement engine. And I don't remember the dates on it, but it is not the correct or original engine in it. So it's not a numbers matching engine. So just be aware of that. But you know, for a driver, it really doesn't matter. It appears it's got the correct WCFB carburetor on it, so it looks the correct part. But that's you know, that's what a high-level driver is, in my opinion, and that's what this car is. And I do really like it. So we're going to get this thing out on the road. But overall, this car does not need anything mechanically, cosmetically. You know, as far as driver goes, it really doesn't need anything. So it's a car you can get in, jump in, turn the key and go. And like the prior owner, you know, drive an hour, wherever. But the other thing is the fellow is an engineer who owned it. Wrote down every trip he took mileage notes. He wanted to keep that book for you know, for memory's sake, but I did photocopy that. He's got every receipt. Typical engineer. I love buying cars from engineers. They write down the oil changes and all the maintenance and all that for the most part. But no, it was really well cared for, and this is the way to buy one. So anyway, we're gonna get this thing out, and I look forward to the drive. It's not summertime anymore here, so I'm a little bundled up. We're doing our videos inside, and I think I'm gonna have the top up. It's a little cooler today, so I hope you enjoy the video, and let us know what you think. All right, here we go. Look at that, all my gauges work real nice. Even the rheostat in there works as it should. I You can see all my gauges, interior lights are working. Just, it's really nice to have one of these solid axles where everything works as it should. It's believe me, it's not the standard on a solid axle driver. Typically, a solid axle driver is a car that somebody didn't want to put the money into because it was a piece of crap. And, you know, it's been a piece of crap since the 70s. But every now and then you'll find a car that, you know, somebody always took care of. And, you know, this is one of those examples. All right, I'm going to put the windows up here. These windows go up and down beautifully. No tight spots or anything. Okay. I'm even going to put the heat on because it's a little chilly out. Okay. So all my gauges work properly. Good oil pressure, just under 60. Fuel gauge is showing almost 3/4, not bouncing around like a lot of them do. Still pretty cool, so temperature gauge isn't quite up yet. Tach's working right. The clutch is nice and smooth on this thing too. A lot of times with the mechanism on these solid axle clutch assemblies, they're like on-off switches, and they're just not set up right and really hard to drive. This one's dialed in just the way it should be. The odometer's working properly. I'm getting the tenths coming up as it should. It's just wild how nicely this thing steers and goes down the road here. Okay, I'm getting a little bounce on the turn signal. All works good. I'm getting a little bounce on the temperature gauge, and that's usually a loose connection there, so I'll tighten that up. Now, the top seals in this thing pretty nice. I'm not getting any cold air blowing in, which really is, again, you know, somewhat unusual for one of these solid axle cars. Usually they're leaking air and all around the windows and all. This one's pretty tight. I don't think it's going to be absolutely 100% watertight and all that. I don't think I've ever had one that's that good, but this is one of the better ones for damn sure. You know, by 1961 and 62, these cars were actually getting better with all that fit and finish. And I don't think any of the engineering really changed in all this stuff, but I think the guys assembling them at the factory, they were getting a little bit better with them. I've restored a lot of these cars, and you know, they're not easy to do. The windshield frames, the posts and all that stuff, you know, it's all hand-fitted stuff. And they didn't all fit the same way. So it's got a nice dash pad, all this stuff. I'm going to guess and suggest that's been replaced. I really don't know much about the history of the interior in this car and all that. I mean, it looks like it had to have been replaced at some point, but these may actually be the original seat covers. But I kind of doubt it. This had a black dash, would not have survived this long, so I'm going to have to go and say that's been replaced. But yeah, it fits nice. The Corvette emblem area in here, It all looks really nice. No dings and dents in there. So just a nice overall appearing car. Yeah, you know, if you want to pick up women over 60, this is how you do it right here. I'm getting some really warm smiles from some of the older gals passing around here. No, I joke, really. You know, Kardashian has a 57. I don't know much about her, but just that alone makes her a cool chick in my book, and it's just unusual for somebody that young to even look at a car like that and think it's cool, let alone own one. It was an NCRS car, sticker on it anyway. Looks like a damn nice Cascade Green 57. So good for her. She's got some real style. Maybe that's a new fashion statement, a solid axle Corvette. I mean, I like that, but don't count on it. Because once you drive one, if you're that young and you're driving other stuff, you gotta know what you're doing. All right, here we go. All right, that's just up to the 5,000 RPM red line. You know, I do it in every car. This car's no exception. This thing, as I expected, didn't miss a beat. Temperature gauge is hovering around 180 right now. So everything's good. I'm really pleased with this performance. So high beam light works. Indicator. All right, now we're going to come down here in a second. Okay, if that transmission had bad blocker rings in it, it would pop out, and it doesn't. So I noticed that on my first test drive with this car. Yep, the brake switch is working, brake switch indicator. So I'm telling you guys, this is a great car for the money. For those of you out there looking for a turnkey driver, check this one out. I reject a lot of these cars from my inventory because they're just junk, and you know, look at a lot of them, not that many of them. This is a good one. I mean, I would drive this car. I would drive this thing. It's easy to drive. It's pleasant to drive. I guess that's why I drove it. I wasn't afraid to drive down here for an hour drive. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to our channel. We get new stuff in almost every day. We're not the biggest Corvette dealer out there, but what I can tell you is we have good cars. We're very particular in what we buy. Because I want you as a customer, I want you to buy more cars. And I don't want to be a one-hit wonder and sell you a car and hope to never see you again. We get that. We see that a lot out there. So anyway, check this thing out and give us a call. Give Ed Kavetsky or myself, Jim Jordan, a call. Send us an email. Let us know of any trades, and we'll get you behind the wheel in this thing. All right, thanks for watching.